Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Okay, the standard of map making is just absolutely outstanding at the moment. We are seeing so many maps from creators that 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, would be getting 3s across the board, are coming in with maps that, frankly, do not deserve to be coming from creators with very limited experience. And yet, we've got another one today. A creator we've only done once in the past, episode 1361, where they got a solid 11 stars. That's a good place to start. And we've upped it again. Now, it certainly doesn't feel like an A-lister map, but only a few minor tweaks and this is an A-lister map, and I think you're going to agree with me. And that'll be a first. One thing you could do for the first time, if you've never done it before, is interact with the daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Right, okay, today's map is Endangered Valley by Nico Weld 11. I'd say at first glance it looks like a 3-star map, doesn't it? At first glance, you wait, it's just begging to be played. Begging. There's your start square. That looks pretty reasonable, doesn't it, I think? And then, the terrain height's got a little bit down by the coast, which is reclaimed land. Quite like that little move. Resources, we've got patches that are good and strong that don't look like patches when you get down to ground level. That's a plus. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, I like this as well. The fish are separated into sections. I like that. It's great. Send the fishing boats to wherever you want them to go. Not that it makes any difference, but you can. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. There is a nicely written short description, including a one-click collection, which, frankly, isn't too frivolous. It contains a reasonable amount of items, and on top of that we've got a custom made theme, the Endangered Valley theme, custom made for this map, and the Clarity LUT, which is a good poppy LUT as well. I've got the old version of Daylight Classics, so that's in there as well, and a nice mix of trees and rocks. It's not overloaded and overburdened, and again, it just feels about the right amount of everything. Now, one thing that I'm just going to point out, it's not a huge issue for me, but here the roads separate, but they're separated by design, and you'll see this again a little bit later on. Now, I will question this as to why would the roads separate? Maybe they had more asphalt to burn off or something like that. And I know it does happen in certain places in the world, but usually where there's a lot of space, or if there's something, a building or hill or some ancient woodland we need to avoid, sometimes we go either side of them, which can help protect them even more, because then people can't just wander in and start chopping down wood because there's highways on either side. It's a neat little move. Here I don't buy into the reason for this one, and you'll see a smaller version of this in a few moments time, which I buy into even less. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. If anything, these ideas are the worst ideas on the map, and they are excellently done. Okay, like that. I forgot about this one. So we've got another one like this. Why? Because burning off asphalt, probably. And there'll be another little bumpy one in a few moments time where you look and you go, well, I really don't understand that one. Yeah, I know there are reasons. And not everybody lives on a tiny little island. Well, I know the UK's not that tiny, but even so. Here we go, this is the bumpy one. I mean, why? Had we put a little copse in there, just or a little hill, or maybe a little lake in there, I think that would have explained that one a bit better. The others, I mean, we can build in the middle of them, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, those talking points there. If there's anything about this map which I've got a thumbs down on, it's those. One minor detailing issue. Just one little minor one. Loving the intersections, loving the height. And the other thing, yeah, the intersection work, just very loopy, very slick. Feels definitely workable. Oh, and we're now just entering the start square. We're in the start square, but only just running along the left-hand edge of the start square here. Can't access it from here, but don't worry, we will be able to access it from over here. So all is good. Nice looking bridge over the river, nice looking intersection on the other side. It's all very slick and very tidy. And then I guess we should enter the start square. I think we'll just drive straight through it. Most of the start square is, it's flat. We've got an interesting shoreline, an interesting gravelly, sandy bit going on there. Dirt road going on over here with the bridge. Can you imagine building here? I absolutely can. I probably would end up demolishing. I'm all for keeping landmarks and old roads and stuff like that. Perfect bridge. I'm all for those sorts of things, but I just sometimes I can't see how I just can't see how I would make that road work in any sort of my style of city builds, and I do prefer the old European style rather than the grids. So yeah, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can think of a way. If you can, let me know in the comments how you're going to do it. Screenshot it if you actually do it. Do it. Don't do it. Okay, just don't do it. No. Anyway, let's carry on. That's going to be on the next time I do BonBonBingo cards. Links in the description. I'm going to include do. Doesn't happen very often, but it always gets me laughing. Anyway, we head on up this way. Now we're just making our way along the networks. I mean, there's not too much to talk about apart from the shape of the land, the fact that everywhere around it, even though we're on hills, it feels buildable, doesn't it? And the intersections are big and loopy without being stupidly oversized like it could easily be, and they feel practical, which is something which I think is quite important. Now we're going to head alongside the canal that heads out to the sea, but rather than go all the way down there, because we're going to have a look down there a little later on, let's go and have a look at the rail. Okay, and there's nothing really wrong with down there. Don't think, oh, BonBon's going to show us where it's all going to go wrong, this map's going to fall apart. No, BonBon's not going to do any of that. I guess I've got my big grumble with this map, other than what I've mentioned so far, is it could so easily have been vanilla. It could so easily have been vanilla. I mean, the few patches of rocks and rock detailing that we see wouldn't be so good, but and we haven't overplayed on the asset count at all, the tree count at all. It all feels very nice, but again, it just feels like it could have been done as vanilla, and could have got away with it. And that would have scored bonus points because all those people that want to play vanilla, they could have jumped on board. But again, it doesn't affect gameplay for me or for most of you. Right, heads off to the edge of the map over there, so we'll take a short intermission. We'll come back and look at some of the glorious structure of the map.
Do your cul-de-sacs look like this? Do you want them to look like this? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to the Perfect Cul-de-sacs by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
Ah, the cul-de-sacs. Got to love them. Right, okay, shipping routes. We have shipping routes on Endangered Valley by Nico World 11, and they are almost perfect. Almost. In fact, the one gameplay issue on today's map, if you can call it that, is not up here. Not up here. We have access to the bay, shipping routes into the bay, which I think is a good thing. Definitely a good thing. And then we head back down out this way. We can loop back out. If you head off this way, actually, you can go right along the edge of the map to this point over here, so you can get maybe a harbour over this way. But imagine if you've got a ship coming from here and it wants to draw a path to where we started from. Then it's got to go right the way through the middle of this, and it hasn't got a direct route. It's got to do the jinky janky, and that means just a little bit of weird. And it'll be visible as well, I feel. Yeah, there is that. Water flow in the start square. Well, we got the convergence of the two rivers in the start square. We have water flow in the right direction there, and water flowing in the right direction there, which means we have water flow in the start square that is working with reality. I love it. I love this. And I love this. I love the actual highway layout as well. It's a bit bendy and windy with loopy intersections, but look, it makes absolute perfect sense. What's going on there? We'll have a look down there, shall we? We'll have a look down there. I think the sun's setting as well. Did I not turn off the day-night cycle? It'll be fine. We'll get to the end before the sun sets. Right. So anyway, the highway and the rail heads down here. We go into a slick-looking tunnel there. It's pretty slick. And that heads off to the corner of the map, which would be deep in fog, because fog, right? And, I mean, that's fine. That gives us an outside connection. You can just make out we do have tunnels above ground or under sea level, which is okay if you can't see them. I mean, we can there, but they are very shallow there. Question is, can we make them out from over here? So if you're doing some screenshots from the air, like this angle, yeah, just about. That is a perfect way of spoiling a beautiful screenshot. So a slight minus point on the aesthetics for that. We do have some essential lighthouses, but they're not the vanilla ones. And these ones I hate. I absolutely loathe these ones. Personal. It's just a personal thing. They look like fireworks rockets to me. Oh, and a splash of blue mantle. That's the worst technical thing on the map. But yeah, they're just lighthouses that don't appeal to me personally. Everybody can tell me how wrong I am, and that is fine, because I won't change my mind. I just don't like them. I won't mark down the map for them, because they're perfectly fine and they're believable, but anyway. Loving the shapes of the hills, loving the shapes of the hills, and loving the tree painting. I'm loving the occasional patch of rubble as well, the rocks every now and then, and the theme. It's a great theme, Endangered Valley theme, excellent. The river, just totally believable and works. The rocks work really well with the gravel. It just comes together very nicely indeed. In fact, the whole map comes together very nicely indeed. What haven't we had a look at? Oh, the Endangered Valley aspect of it. I think it's because we have basically taken the roots of the river there. Well, you can see the route it used to take along there. And, of course, we put in the two big canals. So are we endangering the valley by reclaiming the land? That could be the reason. But anyway, yeah, Endangered Valley is it's a clever idea. I like the idea of that, and I like the fact that that river, that dry river over there, is actually below sea level. Clever stuff. Anyway, we head up here. We've got again good trees and hills, and you can imagine getting up here. I'm doing a small village or two up in the hills. I wonder what the view's like from the top of the mountain. Let's have a little look-see. And I would say that looks very nice. Imagine when you start building as well. Screenshots from up there, guys. Head over to my Discord, links in the description, and share me some screenshots from this map if you build on it. I want to see them. It's going to be a great map for that. Anyway, back down to the start square, which can mean it's only time for, oh, what are the words? Which can only mean it's time for the asset review of the day. That's what I was trying to say. It's the Plattenbau Dresden WHH 17 numbers 1 to 3 by MeisterMonis. And regulars will know that I just love the Plattenbau style blocks of flats. They just work really well for me. Very European. Not a big fan of these super high skyscrapers. And these would work beautifully in any city I personally would build. And factoids, because factoids. Okay, talking Endangered Valley. How about endangered creatures? The vaquita, hopefully I got that right, is the world's rarest marine mammal, with about 10 individuals remaining. This little porpoise wasn't discovered until 1958, which they did on porpoise, of course. And a little over half a century later, they are on the brink of going forever. The vaquita, or vaquita, are often caught and drowned in gill nets, used by illegal fishing operations in marine protected areas within Mexico's Gulf of California. So, illegal fishermen, please stop it. I know you're going to die of starvation if you don't fish, but equally, use nets that are dolphin friendly. Plattenbau Dresden, blah 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 by MeisterMonis. Today's asset of the day. You get 3 of them, you know. And all those letters and numbers, I think you probably didn't need me to repeat those. Anyway, we're at the point where I need you to interact Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month before the sun sets? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner of the screen, or the link in the description that will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, I love this one. Nico Weld, you have absolutely surpassed yourself. It doesn't feel like an A-lister map. It doesn't quite feel like an all 5-star map. But you have ticked boxes, and I am very happy to give you a slightly above, no, a medium lowish 4. Get the words out. I meant 4. I'm saying 4. Detailing, again, it feels almost like a very high 4-star map. A tad off for the blue mantle. So we'll go for a medium lowish 4. I'll match the aesthetic score on that one. Gameplay potential, I was going to go 5 stars, but then I reminded myself about the shipping route, which will cause visible shipping wobblies out by the... So I'm going to go for a very, very, very high 4 stars. If that's got an extra line going across it, it becomes 5 stars. But one way or another, this map very happily gets the BonBonB seal of approval. It is an absolute gem. I love it. Absolutely love... Nico Weld, I love it. I know I say that quite often about maps, but that is a map that I would very happily play on if I had the time to play and build maps. Build maps, build cities on maps. I don't even time to build on my own map because I'm a busy boy. Okay. What you don't realise is I pick the word of the day way in advance, and then I forget what it was, and then I have to improvise when we get to the end of the video. Anyway, your chance to improvise, become part of the 20 and out elite, use the word of the day, and I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day.